Do you love your photos? Do you want to keep them safe? I suggest keeping two backups. The first backup is going to be local. This is going to guard against things like spilling coffee on your laptop, which one of my clients has done. Somebody breaking in your house and stealing your computer, as somebody has done to me. Or just your hard drive dying. No hard drive lasts forever as much as we'd like them to. They can die after 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, you're never going to know. This backup is going to be kept locally, so this is going to be an external drive, and I've got some suggestions in the description down below. I suggest using drives by manufacturers that you've heard of, such as Western Digital or Seagate or any of those. It doesn't need to be a fast hard drive. It doesn't need to be made for gaming and have 7,200 RPMs and all these things, because it's going to be running in the background, it's going to be running while you sleep, so you don't need to worry about it being the fastest drive. To size the drive, I would suggest going about 2 to 3 times the size of your photos, as well as if you're going to be backing up your main computer. So let's say you've got 2 terabytes of photos on an external drive, and your main computer is about 1 terabyte. Add those together, that's going to be 3 terabytes. Double that, that's going to be about 6. Round it up a little bit. There's plenty of 8 terabyte drives on the market today that are inexpensive. You can get them at Costco, Amazon, B&H Photo, Best Buy, just about anywhere you can find hard drives. I won't get too deep into the programs that you can use. There's a lot of videos here on YouTube that'll explain all the different variances of programs as well as the pros and cons. But I do suggest using Time Machine if you have a Macintosh, or using the backup facility that's built into a Windows machine. They both work wonderfully and will back up both your computer and any external drive you have to a third backup drive. There's also a program called Acronos that a lot of my clients have used and have been really happy with. You should check in with this local backup periodically to make sure that it's running and make sure that your files are there. A lot of these programs are meant to overwrite themselves when they start to run out of space. But if you've sized your drive properly, for instance, you got an 8 terabyte drive for those 3 terabytes of photos, and you take maybe only a couple hundred gigabytes of photos a year, you're gonna have plenty of room for plenty of time. But if you get a new camera and all of a sudden your file sizes are a lot larger, you're gonna wanna check in a little bit more to make sure that you're not running out of space too early. The second backup that you should have is going to be remote. In the old days, I used to say, make a backup, put it on a hard drive, take that hard drive, physically take it someplace and place it there, and run another backup to keep locally, and then swap those out like every month or so. But thankfully, there are enough cloud-based services nowadays that the cost is getting down to a point where it really doesn't make sense to go through all that work of moving hard drives around. What you're guarding against with cloud-based backups is a catastrophe. So kind of the worst case scenario, well, maybe not the worst case scenario, that would be the Earth getting hit by an asteroid. But barring that, your house burning down, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, all kinds of natural disasters and man-made things, basically making it so that everything's obliterated. Your computer's gone, your local backup is gone. I suggest using Backblaze to all my clients. They don't pay me anything, I don't get a kickback from them. I probably should sign up for their affiliate program, but currently I'm not. They do a great job of being able to copy the important files from your computer and the important files from any attached hard drive. So the important thing here is it can't be a network attached storage. If you know what network attached storage is, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what network attached storage is, don't worry about it. If you have a hard drive and it's plugged into your computer, Backblaze will back it up to the web. I have about 19 terabytes of data stored with Backblaze. They are wonderful. I've had 2 clients so far be able to restore when they've had their computers stolen or completely broken, and they've been able to get all their photos back, their Lightroom catalog, as well as everything else they needed for their machine. The important thing to note with cloud-based services is they're usually not set to make the state of your computer get restored. Time Machine does a great job of, if your computer dies completely and you go buy a brand new one, you plug in your Time Machine, you plug it into the new computer, you start up the computer, and the computer says, oh, I see Time Machine, do you want me to use that as my restore? And it'll make your machine look exactly like it was. Cloud-based backups aren't meant to do that. They're meant to store just your important files. So they'll grab things like regular documents, like Excel files and pictures, databases of things, and your Lightroom catalog and everything else from your computer, and they'll store it on their servers up on the cloud. These services do come with a cost, so you gotta take a look at just how much storage you have, which is one reason why I like Backblaze, because they don't have a limit on the number of files that you can store. Again, I've got 19 terabytes with them, and I've been able to switch computers, move the license over to the new machine, and keep going with those 19 terabytes without having to upload all of them all over again. This cloud-based backup is going to ensure that all your photos and your most important documents are saved up into the cloud someplace, and you can retrieve them later after the catastrophe has finished. That's it. Those are the 2 types of backups you should keep at all times. A local copy, quick and easy to be able to restore files, and then a cloud-based service that guards against catastrophes.